The CQI Pacific Salt 2 for 2020. Here it is to the old version. You can see the upgrades are, they have the blacked out backlock, also screwed construction all the way back. You can actually take it apart, and a 4-way pocket clip now instead of the barrel clip. So the old one had the barrel clip, and you can pull the knife apart and pull out the backlock, but this part of the knife stays in one piece. It's all one piece. So when you pull it apart, you know, the backlock comes out, you pull the spring out from inside. Probably the same blade geometry, exact same blade. They also changed, you know, they've upgraded the Endura. I think it's the Endura 4 handle. You can see where it's been changed a little bit, especially back here. You know, it comes to more of a point in the back. I actually like the older handle better, but this has been used and abused by my son, so it just may be that it's more comfortable right now because everything's been rounded off, where this one, you know, the fern is still sharp in the hand. So it's a 101/50. It's plain edge or serrated edge. It does show the CQI with the 4-way clip and the new Endura 4 handle geometry. 8.75 overall length. It's got H1, 2.9 ounces. And Spyderco on this last reveal did come out. They're going to have a green fern version of this with the LC200N in plain edge add serrated. It's coming. It's so far, I don't know if that's going to change at the beginning of the year, if they're going to have a price increase, but it's the same cost. It's going to be the same cost as the H1, you know, 101/50. You've heard me talk about this knife a few times. I've never actually done a video of it because when I bought it, I gifted it to my son right away, and he's got multiple PM2s I've gifted him, a Tenacious, Spyderco fixed blades, Manix, and this is the one he carries all the time. Granted, he's you know, has a fishing boat here in Southern California, and he goes in the beach. He's at the beach a lot and just dives in the water, never really has to worry about the knife. But even at work, you just can't beat an H1 blade and serrated edge. I'm curious to see how the LC200N ends up holding up with the serrated edge. Obviously it's supposed to be better with the plain edge, you know, better edge retention than H1. But this knife has just been stellar. So this was absolute mess when I got it. You know, I'm sharpening it for him. The handles were pure black, and I just took everything apart, cleaned all the gunk out, and I put this in the dishwasher on like the medium cycle, not the high heat, and it cleaned it up almost perfect, like brand new. You know, oiled it up, put it back together. And this knife has been left for months at a time, you know, with salt water on it. He just never really washed it off. So it did have a lot of gunk in the backs, you know, the backlock here that I cleaned out. And then, you know, now, not that you flick backlocks, but you can actually flick this knife open. You know, it's that smooth. So everything about this knife is stellar. For how big it is and what the cutting surface you're getting, pretty much nothing it can't do. Oh, shows the size compared to the PM2. I definitely will be getting one with the LC200N. I'm not quite sure. We haven't had any rusting issues with this, you know, in a saltwater environment. He actually lives very close to the beach too, which causes, you know, rust in its own right. So I don't know why they went with all this blacked out hardware. I know they did it on the Spidey chef because they were having, you know, like a electrolysis or galvanic reaction to the two dissimilar metals, but this is all fern. I think this is an H1 spring, so I don't know if they were actually getting rust on these you know, this hardware. We haven't. But the new ones do come with this coated, you know, the coated hardware. Well, time will tell if we like this new ergonomic handle. You know, if it actually is an upgrade. So the new CQI version for 2020, Pacific Salt 2, with the new upgraded handle ergonomics, screwed construction where you can pull the knife apart, and the 4-way pocket clip, and blacked out hardware.